What is going on? Everybody out there, thanks for joining us. I'm Hoskins, and you're watching Stage to Stream, another episode here. We have an awesome one ready for you today. There's our logo. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm now animating our logo. Oh, look, here I am. That intro is smooth. I know everyone is kind of coming in layered as they do, but thanks for being here with us. We got an awesome show for you today. I'm joined, as always, by my two awesome co-hosts, the tech guru, Jonathan Long, and my dear friend, Megan Rubel. How's it going, you guys?
It's going. It's going.
Megan, how'd you do that? That was amazing.
It's the power of mouses. Mises? Mousei. Mouses.
Mousei. Definitely
Mousei.
Mousei.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, magic.
What's going on, Megan? You look like you're in John Oliver's void.
I am in John Oliver's void.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him I've contaminated the whole set. Leading to the end of one of my favorite shows. But yeah.
Well, that's really surprising. That upped our production value a lot. So
yeah, if you'll notice, so mine isn't as like bright and shiny as his. So if his is like heaven, I'm like for sure.
Yeah.
Story, like the wall.
She couldn't get access to his high quality cameras.
Yeah.
So, and because of that, she's in purgatory.
Yeah. Right. That's how it works.
It's very good. Very good.
Top show purgatory.
Well, it's good to see you guys. I know it's been, kind of a normal couple weeks for 2020, but I just want to say before we started getting into like the barrels of shit, and hopefully we can provide some fun and entertainment for you today. I know our guest is really talented, but I just want to say I've heard this a lot, and it may be true, but it's not a good attitude to have. And I'm committing to myself not to say this anymore. And I hope maybe you guys can do this with me, but I'm tired of people saying that 2020 sucks. Yeah, it's true. But like, we aren't over it yet. So like, maybe we could turn this around a little bit. That's like if you're playing a game and you're like, well, we lost. Like, yeah, you may be losing right now, but like, let's turn this shit around a little bit and have a little positivity.
Hoskins, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Long's face.
Look, man, I just started teaching again this week with kids. I can't make any promises.
You just that sounded very violent, man. Well, I don't know,
but that's neither here nor there.
Great. Well,
I'll split the middle and say that I think there is no use in talking about how like everything is like. I think there's no use in lying about the situation, and I think there's a lot of like pretty horrible things happening. And I don't think I think we should acknowledge that. But I think also like there is the opportunity for a lot of good right now and a lot of growth, which doesn't always feel good, but is good.
Yeah, well, that's really not the middle. That's kind of exactly what I'm saying. I'm not acknowledging that shit is sucky right now, but like, let's all remember that humans on the earth, one big team, right? One big team.
Well, let's understand. I'll be positive, but I won't be optimistic.
There you go.
I'll be positive, but like.
Moral of the story: thank your teachers. They're sad.
I haven't had much. I also teach a little bit. I dabble. But my kids haven't come back fully yet. So maybe this is just me trying to talk myself up, and Long has already...
Hey, man, you're going to need it. You're going to need it.
Well, so much for the optimism.
I am optimistic and pessimistic.
Okay, well, art always is light, right? Art brings light. That's optimism. So why don't I be quiet? Because clearly me wanting to spread optimism isn't working. And we'll go to our awesome guest. Our guest is Emily Franke today. She's a singer-songwriter. She's really good. Well, I'm not going to tell you how good her music is. I'm just going to let her start. Thanks for being here, Emily. Start whenever.
Thank you for having me. This first song is called Since You. Since you You, well, I've been talking more, believing in myself and opening doors. Since you think I'm better off, doesn't mean I don't think about the good times that we had, but I can brush them off. Guess I believe it'll love myself, be able to look in the mirror. Nothing in particular I just said, but I'm glad I pulled the trigger. 'Cause you aren't the girl that fell far. Since well, I've been thinking a lot about how you changed overnight into someone you said you were not. Since guilt's been eating me up. Now I'm waking up in the arms of another and still wondering, yeah, what you would have thought. Guess I believe it'll love myself, be able to look in the mirror. Nothing in particular that you said, but I'm glad I pulled the trigger. 'Cause you aren't the girl I fell for. Yeah, you, I don't know her anymore. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. We'll talk to you in a second. That was way better than Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone. I like that way better, Since You. That's better. I was just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
So, well,
Put some respect on Kelly Clarkson's name.
I'm just, it was just a compliment for Emily, not a.
No, Emily's
No,
great. That was phenomenal.
Kelly Clarkson, great American Idol contestant.
Kelly
Yeah,
Clarkson.
we'll talk to Emily. What, Megan?
Kelly Clarkson, don't come after us. We didn't do
Please
it.
don't. Yes,
If you-
we love
if
your
you
daytime
do-
talk show.
Go after
You're
the
way nicer than
Hoskins,
Ellen.
Jonathan. Go after the Hoskins, Jonathan, not the
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
Bring it. So if you guys have any questions now, everybody watching out there, for Emily or just for us or topics she wants to talk about or anything like that, throw it in the comments. Also, if you want to find Emily's music, it's in our description, all the places you can find her stuff, and even her Instagram. So as we go, we'll probably reference to that a couple of times. But before we bring Emily back, you guys, I had some current events in theater. How exciting. Wow.
There's still events in theater? What?
Not really, but there are articles out there.
There's been a couple of drive-in things in LA, which is cool. I haven't gone to them.
Really?
I don't know how successful they've been, but
Right.
I went to
I need
a
to investigate
drive-in
that.
thing.
you
Yeah.
went to a what?
I don't want to discuss what it was.
Okay. Can you give us a little clarification so
Yeah,
my dirty
you're
mind
gonna
doesn't
have to-
wander?
I'm just embarrassed because it was Garth Brooks. Yeah,
Wow.
I went to
Oh,
a
the
drive-in.
mother-
I went to a drive-in Garth Brooks concert where he live streamed or he posted a stream throughout the country at local drive-ins. It was fun.
I mean, he's a great performer,
Right.
regardless of whether or not you like his music. I think he's a great performer.
Right.
Yeah, he's super successful. He's done a lot. Garth, buddy. Yeah. So I'm not gonna judge you for that, man. I'm not gonna judge you for that, but it did throw me. I'm thrown. Just want to apologize if you're watching out there. I'm thrown. Okay, let me recollect. And the first thing, I've talked to Megan and Jonathan about this just as friends, but we haven't talked about it on a public platform. There was a corona outbreak at a community theater,
Hmm.
and they were doing a show.
The best show in the world, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. So for anyone trying to do theater out there,
Be
don't do
careful.
Mamma Mia. Oh,
Oh, well, mine was real advice. Yours was
do Mamma Mia too.
the one with Cher.
Here we go again.
Yeah, thank you. The classic.
No, yeah.
Okay.
But I
Go ahead,
do
Lauren.
want to watch it just to see what Cher is doing there.
Yeah, no, I saw that article about that community theater, and I was just, as a high school teacher, it's the reason I'm not doing shows in the fall right now. I'm just taking a break. There's no need to risk those kids. There's no need to risk their family. It's not worth it.
Yeah, indoors. There's bodily fluids everywhere. There's singing. And,
There's a community theater in my area that is, it's very targeted towards the elderly crowd. And the community keeps pushing him to open his theater back up. And his response is always, I make a living off putting a bunch of old people in a crowded space for hours on end. Doesn't seem like a good idea for me to open up right now. So he's at least self-aware.
yeah, yeah. We shouldn't. We're not that. Art is really important, and if you can do something safely, yeah, that's awesome. Go for it. But I think it's
Yeah, I mean, get creative, but don't put other people at risk.
Yeah. I think it's wild that it's a community theater too, because like community theaters, I love community theater. I think it's super important. I've seen some community theater stuff here in LA that's better than professional stuff that I've seen.
yeah,
But like there are people that are out of jobs right now whose livelihood is theater. And so to risk it for something where you're not even like bailing out some of the people who need that income to survive right now, it's just like,
yeah.
Right.
And in a professional production, your whole cast, even if there's an outbreak, it's still confined to a certain amount of people, probably living in a select area.
yeah,
And typically not with big families. But in a community theater, you have teenagers in it, you have moms, you have grandfathers, like you have everything in that. And also, Mamma Mia is not a cast with kids; it's got older people in it. But anyway, enough of this Mamma Mia bullshit. Don't do Mamma Mia in general. Definitely don't do it in coronavirus. So the next story, and this sucks. I think everyone saw this weekend and just immediately got super bummed out that Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
passed away from colon cancer.
Yeah. He is from the town right over from mine, maybe 30, 40 minutes away. And it's a pretty big deal down here. They're already debating. There's a Confederate statue still up in Anderson, where he's from, and where he's from, right outside of Anderson. And there's a petition going around to replace that statue with a statue of him,
Oh man,
which I
We
would
gotta
be
get
all
behind
for. I've already signed the petition, my guy.
that. All right, well, we'll send it out, man.
I
Put it in
will.
the comments.
I will. I'll make sure we get that posted in our Instagram.
Yeah,
bio.
yeah, we got to post that. Helping South Carolina and honoring a really talented
Right.
and someone who clearly had a really big impact on a lot of people. You saw a lot of outreach, and
I mean,
of
let's
course, with
understand. He was
Black
making
Panther and the James Brown movie. He did that. I love that.
and the Jackie Robinson movie and the Thurgood Marshall movie.
yeah.
I mean, this man was making action flicks while fighting colon cancer.
Yeah, and not letting anyone know. Also, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a car alarm going off.
No, I hear it. It's very faint, but
It's good. To me, it feels like a beat. But what I didn't know about Chadwick Boseman before this was that he did a lot of theater, and he wrote and created a lot of theater. Did you guys have any idea?
I did not.
I mean, I
So-
think a lot of film actors come from it, especially really good ones, if I could be biased, come from a theater background.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me, right?
Yeah.
He, with the kind of work that he does, he seems like he's very well trained. But this is very interesting. He's got his own work, so he helped create a play with music. So it says in this article, so you can check out the article yourself on Theater Mania about his theater career. But he created this play with music called Rhyme Deferred, which toured the U.S. and appears in the hip hop theater anthology, The Fire This Time. The Fire This Time. That's the name. He also wrote and directed a play called Hieroglyphic Graffiti. So I kind of want to do some research on those shows immediately. And also, I had no idea this anthology existed. Did you guys know there was a hip hop theater anthology?
I didn't
No.
know there was enough hip hop theater for there to be an anthology.
Right.
Right.
So this is great. And this is stuff that's happening well before Hamilton, way before, which is what people would immediately associate hip hop and theater. Like that's what people know, but that's pretty cool. So like I said, if you want to check that out, there's an article on Theater Mania. And rest in peace and our
There's
condolences
also,
to his family. And
there's also, if you go on his Instagram, before you do your rest in power post, go on his actual Instagram, and there was a organization he was promoting that was for fighting racism within Hollywood, and seeking more equality. So go give them a follow and a like. And
So, and as all of you guys know, or if you don't know, I live in South Carolina, and the governor of South Carolina has not done a lot that I'm very happy with ever. But when, it was made public that he had passed away, it's the first time the governor of South Carolina has ever done anything that I was like, oh, okay. The flags on the state capitol flew at half mast, and those flags were delivered to his family. Which is a pretty big deal. I mean, he's a South Carolina hero. I mean, he's been, a positive change and a positive role model, especially for young boys and of color in the superhero industry, because like there's not really superheroes, especially in film, that look like them. And so this was a big deal. And like I have students that, loved his movies and loved him as a performer. So it's hard, and it's rough anytime an actor like that goes, especially so suddenly. But, I think that the work he left us was awesome, for lack of a better word.
yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, that seems to be a pattern with just great art and artists leaving us too soon. Okay, so no real way to transition, but to our next theater story. Paris. This Paris theater that I can't pronounce. It's a real big deal. Just trust me on it. It's a real big deal. I might try to pronounce it. Theater du Châtelet. You figure it out. Anyway, they fired their artistic director, who was just hired in 2017, and it's kind of murky as like why she was fired. There's not like a real it's just like a problem with her managerial style, but they did an investigation and there wasn't anything found that was determined as like fireable offense, and all the other information is pretty murky. Go ahead, Long.
So she got fired because they don't know why?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to like. Basically, she was mean, is what it sounds like.
Right.
But I don't know if what the accusations were something worse that just can't go public. But it seems really fishy to me. And all I really have is this not really pleasant picture of her that's really not flattering for the article that makes it seem like she did some shit. But it just says managerial and financial concerns. Maybe she stole money. And
okay, see, if you would have led,
maybe she just sucks at being in charge of a theater.
if you would have led with financial concerns, I think this would have been a non sequitur. Because if you're not making money for a theater, then like, why keep you?
Yeah, or like you can be creatively great at leading a theater, but like I think there's a business side to that.
But there's also a reason this article leads with managerial. Obviously,
right. The more of the accusations are saying it's the problem she had with the staff, but like you guys are saying, without a clear accusation, it kind of seems like maybe it was really just money, and this is what we're gonna say. Because if we,
I mean,
I'm
if
not
it
sure
was
how.
money and like she was mismanaging money. That's a very kind way for them to put that.
Yeah, if she's mismanaging money, it could have been theater manager is not good with cash, runs business to ground.
They go, bye.
She said in her statement that some of the staff were not sympathetic to my artistic vision. It would be it's clear we really don't have enough information, and like I don't know how theater necessarily works in France. Like I don't know if that's a government entity, right? Because
Right.
European countries, there's government money. I don't know how the money works, so I don't know the reasons there would be for lying about that. But let's imagine that it's just because she like wanted to add a tree, and everyone was like, "This stupid."
No, see, in my mind, she was like, "Okay, I have this vision, right? I want to get $100,000 and set it on fire on stage."
Art isn't.
But no, it has to be real money. It has to be real money.
We had this like eccentric Eastern European director that would come into my college, like I think it was like every other year. He came in twice, and he would teach a class, and then he would direct one of our main stage shows. And he did a version of the Bacchae that was basically the wildest, weirdest thing I've ever seen, and actually seemed pretty good. But he wanted live peacocks on stage inside of a cage with all of the actors. And the faculty had to be like, no.
Can I bring Emily in to ask her about working with a live peacock and her thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, duh.
Yeah. Also, we're not sponsored by NBC's new streaming platform, Peacock, that you can download for free right now.
But it is free.
Okay, Emily, hypothetical. You have a director. They say, "Hey, I want you on stage in this cage with this wild peacock." What do you do?
Multiple wild
Run.
peacocks.
No. No birds. No live birds. Ever.
But why?
That's the correct answer.
I just want you to know, one Dr. James Christman says yes, live peacocks.
No. Absolutely not. Birds freak me out. You don't know what they're thinking.
Birds are gross, man.
Well, peacocks are aggressive.
They are.
They're big.
They start shaking that nice little feather thing they have in the back, and that's like saying, "Hey, I'm about to fight you." It's pretty until they attack.
Yeah. And I can't imagine being trapped in a cage with a bunch of actors screaming and doing a like drugged out version of the Bacchae is what you want to happen there.
Hoskins, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that show is.
Yeah, I don't know what that show is. I asked earlier. I don't know what that show is. I hope I'm not the only one.
I don't either, my guy.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Homework for later. But either way, the important part is live peacocks on stage. They ended up telling him no because it was an insurance issue.
Right. That's the other thing is you have to pay for the peacocks, the cage, and then
you probably have to have a license to have a wild animal like that, or have a handler on stage, or within a certain amount, like a certain reach. So,
if I was there, I just would have been like, I'll do it. I'll be the peacock.
What wild animal would you be comfortable working with?
You, buddy.
I hate you.
Emily, you go first.
What wild? I don't know if I'd be comfortable working with any wild animal.
Correct.
It's wild for a reason.
I'd be comfortable working with like wild bunnies.
There you go. Maybe a small.
Have you not seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
It's been a while.
It's like, I don't know.
Sorry, I also just heard my wife laugh from a distance. But
I think I'd be down with like a giraffe.
You seen those things swing their heads?
Yeah, but it'd be on stage. It'd be kind of stuck. It'd for sure be animal cruelty. So maybe I wouldn't be down with it.
Yeah.
The circus.
But also, you wouldn't need a fly system.
Yeah, that's true. What about a zebra?
See, I know how mules kick. I don't trust it.
Yeah. I would go horse because, like, even if it's a wild horse, it's still kind of domesticated a little bit.
No, they're not.
Like a little, like, over time, They're a little more than a zebra. Are we getting it from the zoo? That's not a wild zebra. Well, the horse is bigger. This is a tough debate.
And so with that, I think we move forward.
Yeah, I think Emily's right, though. No, you say no. You say for how much more?
No, you don't even say for how much more. You could die. Don't say.
You say. I'd like to talk to my lawyer.
There you go.
Agent is what they, I think, are called.
No, you should have a lawyer too.
You should have in that situation, you should have a lawyer.
Yeah, in that situation, you get your lawyer.
Okay, so this is a nice segue, kind of, into the last theater event that I have, which is just an article on Playbill talking about what college theaters are doing in a pandemic. But this article doesn't mean anything because we have someone in the midst of it with us right here, in Emily.
So Emily, what is your college theater doing in a pandemic?
We're still doing shows. We did away with most of the season, and they're doing 3 shows, I believe, now, and a dance concert. All on Zoom. Zoom rehearsal, Zoom design and production. My roommate's a costume designer. She's in a production meeting right now, actually. Full Zoom shows.
So when you say she's in a production meeting, is she like next door on her computer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's just reiterate that that's what in a meeting means nowadays.
Yes. So what? You have to adapt basically everything. It's basically a new art form, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Totally. It's not at all what it was prior to this, and expecting to communicate a story in the room with people. And it's not even really film either, because there's just the weird pause between everyone talking and the gap between the audience. It's just very weird.
I also think and maybe you've had this experience too, and please speak more to it if you have, but eye lines become a really weird thing because you want to look at the camera, but then mostly what you can see is yourself and really probably not your scene partner. Also, if you are on stage or being filmed, you are not usually looking at yourself and being like, is that what my face looks like?
Oh, yeah.
What are my eyes doing?
Yeah, I have an auditioning class that I'm in, and we were doing monologues, and I was like, do I look directly in the camera at them, or we're trying to make spots on the wall, but then you find yourself looking around. It's very weird. And I have only been in a staged reading kind of thing with a scene partner on Zoom, so I have not experienced the back and forth conversations in a scene yet, but that does not seem any better.
That audition class though sounds like actually really beneficial, because you end up just having to do all these self-tapes and staring at a camera, and it feels really unorthodox.
Oh, totally. And we're all getting used to it together, which is nice.
So we typically have a fall festival every year that we attend. And I mean, you take a 40-minute piece and whatnot, and you go to typically a university and you perform it there. Well, we just got the rules for what that's going to look like this year. And so we're talking about, in a college setting, but I'd like to kind of pull this into a theater setting as well, just like a high school theater setting. Actors have to record their parts, but you can't have more than one actor in a recording. You can't have a cut in the middle of the recording. You can take multiple takes, but you can only it has to be a solid all the way through.
Whoa, what? So you can only have one person on the camera. You can't cut at all. So it has to be. So it's a one-person show.
No, you can have multiple people. You can cut, but you can't cut in the middle of a take.
Oh, you can cut to another person, but you can't.
Right. It basically says each shot must be continuous. Sound
and only
effects.
one person in a shot because of social distancing.
Sound effects and voiceovers can be added, but because of this, there are only certain licensing companies we can use, and one of the ones that is on the list that we cannot use is Music Theater International.
Oh my gosh!
Which, if you want a musical at all, you can't really do it.
They just don't want you to bring a musical ever to
Which is fine. I wouldn't bring a musical to this competition in particular right now anyway. But it's crazy because they're limiting, and like you can't use play scripts, which is the kind of low end script company, especially for like high schools that want to do something simple and silly. You can't use that one because they haven't allowed for filming of their material through this.
So many logistical loopholes and things and stuff.
Right. So it is wild.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I'm not going, so
That's probably the best call.
my kids don't want to do that. I wouldn't make them do that.
Good.
Actually, I heard of a show I should do. It's called the Santaland Diaries.
No,
That's a good show. That's hilarious.
but everyone does it.
No one does it like whoever Long's going to get to play.
Like whoever did it first was, I think, the writer.
Nah, I saw a pretty good production once. I saw a pretty good one. This guy was killing that. Lamont Robinson. Shout out. I was just looking though at what some bigger name theater colleges are doing for their programs this year, and there's an article on Playboy. They list about 10 universities, and basically it's like Carnegie Mellon, NYU, and Cincinnati and AMDA are really the only ones doing hybrid, and everyone else is just doing virtual everything.
And Emily, you're a theater major, right?
Yes, I'm an acting major.
Okay, you're an acting major. So would you normally have like a showcase or something at the end of your senior year?
Yeah, we're actually still doing a showcase. We're doing a fully virtual showcase, which honestly, I think that's one of the pluses of all this. It's going to be a little bit more beneficial for us, enables us to push it out to more cities than just Chicago, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I didn't say where you were at in the world, but you are in Illinois, near Chicago. Long is in South Carolina. I'm in Los Angeles, and Megan is in Purgatory.
I'm in John Oliver's Void.
That's so weird.
Sounds so important.
I'm gonna Megan, we're gonna talk again, but I'm gonna give you a second. Emily, excuse me. I'm gonna give you a second to prepare for your next song that we're very excited to hear about. And I don't have the chat open. Are we getting any questions for Emily? Because
we do not have any yet.
Cool. Yeah, if you guys don't comment, I'll figure out something, because I have some questions about songwriting and about music, because Emily is a little younger than us, but there's a few generational things that make it feel like she's a lot younger than us
that we did not realize until literally 5 minutes before we started.
Yeah. So if you don't know of a question now and you're on the comments and you're like, I don't have a question, tell me if you do or do not remember LimeWire, FrostWire, and DatPiff.
And also the Pirate Bay.
Yes, Pirate Bay. Torrent Bay. Okay. Let us know if you remember that.
Any of those.
Yes. Maybe you don't, and you're too young, and you just were born into a world where streaming was always happening. So anyway, we're old. You get it. I think Emily's probably ready by now.
Yep.
Cool. So let's do it.
All right, this is my second song. It's called Don't Call You.
Said don't call you, baby. You said it with a smile, and I've caught you staring at me. I know those teasing eyes. You want my attention as much as I like yours. Before I wouldn't question. Now I'm left wanting more. And baby, you could call me anytime, and if not, baby, could I at least call you mine? Baby, you could call me that anytime. And oh, build up, touching constantly. We're both underwater, neither one comes up to breathe. You said don't call your baby, voice dripping sugar sweet. Your mouth is saying try me, gaze challenging. Now, baby, you could call me anytime, and if not, baby, could I at least call you mine? Baby, you could call me that anytime at all, at all.
Thank you.
Woo!
Woo!
Awesome. Thanks.
Woo! Sorry, I just wanted to fit in.
Thanks for being our other wooer long. Thanks, Emily. We'll talk to you in a second. I was looking at these comments or lack thereof. For some reason, our YouTube won't let some people comment. I don't know why, but we're figuring it out. If you're out there and you can't comment and you're frustrated, we're working on it.
Just
And we're
scream,
sorry.
scream your question into the air. We'll catch it somewhere.
If you have one of our numbers, feel free to try to text us your question, but like, odds are.
I did have some tech support for LimeWire. A lot of people remembering it. Of course, if they texted me and had my number, they were probably in my age range. But the reason we started talking about this before the show, and the reason being, some people may know about this, but Lil Wayne dropped or redropped, or it became
2009 mixtape.
No Ceilings.
One of the greatest mixtapes of all time.
No ceiling. There's nothing stopping you. Just keep going. But it reminded Long and I of a time of downloading mixtapes and albums, and you just had to trust what you got was actually the album,
and not a virus.
or it could be both.
Right.
It could be both. But sometimes there was just like an additional song on there
But
that was not that artist.
I think there's someone that is in the chat that is old enough to maybe have even used Napster.
The hell is that?
I remember
Napster.
Seems like something Jimmy might have used in one point in his life.
A Walkman? What's that? Just kidding. I had a Walkman and a little cassette player, and I definitely remember Napster too.
But no,
Justin Timberlake invented that, right?
In the Social Network movie, yeah, he did.
Friendster.
Oh Lord. But no, I mean it's a different time. We talked about how, yes, James, that was directed at you. Sorry. We talked about how, like, looking back, we realized how bad it was that we stole music.
I don't really think it's that bad.
But like back then, we were stupid high school kids and young, and we didn't understand that.
Look, honestly, the market
stolen. Like, I don't know what I thought was happening, and that's just dumb and like young, and the internet is magical, but like
Yeah, I mean, it was like everything's free.
that's what the internet means.
What? I can download movies if I look hard enough?
But it took consumers making it available for free by themselves to like crack open the industry. And like, yeah, it did hurt a lot of musicians, and like, yeah, that sucks. Sorry.
But we got Spotify.
But we got streaming services, and now other musicians are always available, and more music is available to everyone.
It's so
And
much
it's greater
easier to
for the
put
whole.
music out there now.
Yeah, and you don't have to hide it, and people are still able to make some money. It's more.
There was,
spread out.
yeah, and there was just a point where we were definitely stealing music, guys.
Am I just justifying my actions?
Yes.
That's all I'm doing. I'm not.
You definitely are. No, you definitely are.
Speaking of getting music out there, though.
Right. And speaking of someone that doesn't know what LimeWire is,
Yeah, let's bring back Emily. By the way, if you like her music, which you should, if you have ears, go down below on our comments and you can find all her stuff there.
if I remember, or if I've done my research correctly, you have an EP that you put out on streaming services.
Yes. Yeah,
And-
I put it out in April, I think. Like right at the beginning of quarantine. It was my second EP. Yeah.
Okay. And what's the name of
Grief of My Body.
that? I was listening to it right before we came on, just in case anyone wanted to know. It's very good.
Can you talk about that? Me and Megan immediately had a reaction when you said the title, like, oh, like, wow, that's cool, like, or deep, or it sound. I don't know what. Talk about it.
It's the title of one of the tracks on there. God, I don't really know what to say about the title, perhaps.
We'll go listen to it then, people.
March, like, was it a quarantine album or was it something you were already working on in that?
This one was like, it was kind of half done. I don't really record a lot during the school year because it's the school year and I'm kind of busy. And I had done like 2 songs on it and then everything fell apart. And so I was like, wow, I got a lot of time on my hands. Might as well finish it up.
So yeah, the quarantine kind of gave you the opportunity to wrap it all up.
Yeah, it went from being what I was going to have as another summer project to like early April.
So we got asked in the chat, what's your favorite part of songwriting and performing?
I think my favorite part of songwriting is just feeling like I created something. And also expressing myself, just like baseline expressing things that are just like on my mind. And then performing is connection. And that's like theater and music based, I think. And
you know, we were talking about how, you know, like we've been doing Zoom performance kind of stuff, and like it does it is missing some of that connection with the people you're performing it for. And I think that's one of the hardest parts to get people interested in it, is you don't get to feed off that audience the same way.
100%.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. And like even in class, you can't even, and they're my friends in my class, but I can't even read the room kind of thing with them.
Right.
It's very weird.
Right, because people are typically, they may be reacting to something totally different on their screen too. That's one of my fears. I'm someone who believes very much, it may be some hippie bullshit, but I believe it, that we send vibes out into the world and with the people we are around, and that this eliminates that little extra part.
You don't get to read someone else's energy if they're not in the room with you. You know, it's much easier for them to just kind of put on a face for a webcam and call it a day.
Totally. I totally agree
Right.
with that.
Would you say those are very like sophisticated, really good answers as to why you do this as an adult? And is that something that you kind of knew when you started? Like, how did you start doing any arts? How did that happen for you?
I remember joining choir in 6th grade and I was like, this sounds fun. And so I want to sing kind of thing. I've been a huge Taylor Swift fan and that's why I learned how to play guitar. Like the little 6th grade me was like, I want to play guitar. I want to be like her. And I got like a Walmart guitar. My parents got me this Walmart guitar.
You got a first act, didn't you?
I did get a first act, a first act acoustic. And I taught myself how to play a Taylor Swift song. I don't remember what one it was off the top of my head right now, but like off of looking at chord charts on Google Images, and I like learned it off there and then just kept going.
When did you start songwriting? When did that transition into that?
I got like, I want to say bored of, but like I played a lot of other people's songs and I was like, I want to make something of my own. And I remember trying to in junior high and then getting like really frustrated with it and not being able to do anything. So it was like this half-written kind of stuff that I just abandoned. And then I think sophomore, I remember in 2013, oh God, I don't remember when that was. 14, 15, I guess that's 8th grade for me. In 2013, I posted like a cover on SoundCloud, and then I kept like posting covers and stuff while writing my own stuff. And then junior year of high school, I started actually posting my own stuff, and that's when I remember like actually finalizing songs.
So you've done live theater as well as singing and songwriting and stuff like that. What do you think some of the key differences in those two types or those two mediums of performance are?
Yeah, and how they fulfill you at least.
Right.
I did a little bit of theater in junior high. I did theater all throughout high school, and then obviously I'm doing theater now. But I think the biggest differences are in theater, you're like trying to be somebody else, and then with this, I'm trying to be myself, and I think that was way harder too because I was so used to trying to be somebody else on stage that this was like really scary. I was like, oh God, now they have to like me because I'm being me and not being this character. But I think that's the biggest difference is really being able to express who I actually am instead of expressing who a character
Well,
is.
I mean, there also has to be this element of like I'm putting my work out there, like not only the work I'm portraying, but the work I created,
Yeah.
and the work that I wrote. And like, yeah, in theater we are creating, but like this is all you. So I can see
think
where
it's
that
way
would
more
be
vulnerable.
right. And I think both are a vulnerable art form, but this is it's vulnerable in a very different way. It's more personally vulnerable, I
Yeah.
think. But I mean, from what I can tell, you navigate both pretty well.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah, what's the difference? This is kind of a leading question, but like, how great does it feel when you are doing your own work and you're sharing that with an audience and you feel really good about it and like it goes well, versus that feeling when you get off of a stage? That's just a point of reference for us, is the point when you get off a stage. But when it's actually your work and it's there, it's like it's kind of like a psychedelic experience in a sense. Seems like.
I think that it's the biggest difference is like getting off of a theatrical stage. I find myself sharing it with other people a lot more. There's like the whole team backing it, all the other actors on stage, and just everybody who's put all that work into there. It's a like shared victory way more than this feels really personal, and it's I don't know. I just feel like it's more self pride there, and that's a newer feeling, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like there's no judgment in those feelings because you need to have those team experiences, and then also you can't match the vulnerability of doing something by yourself.
Oh, totally.
And that is going to push you to other levels as an artist. I was thinking about this the other day, so I'll just throw it out here. So like, I think I believe this, maybe, that art, right? Pieces of art, songs, visual art, theater, that it has a life of its own, right? In some sense of it. Like once the artist releases a piece of art into the world, it is now the world's piece of art, and it kind of grows from there. And I thought, how cool is that? If that's real, if that theory has any weight at all, that when you do a play that's been done so many times, a story that's been done so many times over and over, that you're kind of like getting this handed down from all these other productions of it, and it's been touched by all these other perspectives, and then you have this experience with the 10, 15, 20 other people in your cast with you to spread it out even more. I don't know, it just made me miss it. I don't really have a point. Just really miss it.
No,
am I talking
too.
loony?
you're talking in circles, but it's something we all feel.
As long as it feels.
We have a question in the chat that says, you mentioned Taylor Swift as an influence, but who would you list as, some other musical influences as well?
Great question.
Maggie Rogers, totally. I love her
Yeah.
so much. The one song I just sang it probably doesn't sound it right now, but it was a production experiment more at the beginning of quarantine. I kind of wrote this like, fun song, whatever, I've been teaching myself how to produce on Logic, and I was trying to make a different sound, and I think I succeeded in that front listening to it now, but it's Harry Styles inspired. I've been listening to a lot of Harry Styles.
Okay, but his new album's phenomenal. So
I love his new album so much. It's so good. But off of, I don't know if you've listened to his new album, the song Cherry, I really like the layered guitar in that, and I took just inspiration from that and tried to make a recording that sounded akin to that song.
I have a personal question. If you could, give advice to a middle school person that's trying to start writing their own music, or try to at least start writing their own lyrics, like what would be one or two pieces of advice you would give them to kind of point them in the right direction?
Oh God. Just
Or something you wish someone had told you when you were starting.
Yeah, what would
guess-
you now tell yourself when you were trying to write that first song?
just like write everything down, and it's okay if it sounds stupid because you can change it later. And like don't be afraid to because it just writing it all down and not even being afraid of what, like, you can't judge yourself what you're writing. Sometimes I write it, I'm like, wow, that sounds idiotic. This is just the worst song I've ever written. But it's like you have to write that down to get that out of your head to have the good one come out next.
Well, and I'm gonna relate this to a type of music that I'm really in love with, and that's rap music. But I mean, Kendrick Lamar released a whole album of songs that he didn't use before, and it was phenomenal. All the songs were still good. Just because they don't stick the first time doesn't mean that there aren't going to be some things that will make them work. So there's no harm in having it written down somewhere.
Well, and you can't make progress if you don't start, right?
Right.
Like that's that very first step. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you told us about starting to write music, the first thing you said was, I did it at first, it was frustrating, and I stopped, and then I went back to it. So if you're a young songwriter, you have that frustration, that means you're on track.
True.
It's definitely okay to be frustrated in any art you're creating.
Yeah, it means you care.
Can you talk a little bit about what your college experience has been like? And speaking of giving advice, advice on people looking at colleges and like what you found to be helpful and most helpful. Maybe kind of ignoring COVID a little bit for a second.
Okay.
Since nobody knows what they're doing right now.
Let's focus on the first 3 years of college.
I'd say go somewhere with options, because I think you're young going into college, and it's this like, pick what you want to do, go do it. And I think I felt that pressure, and I wish I was told go somewhere with more options, because like I wish I could expand my horizons more. And I'm luckily being able to experience that now during COVID, and I'm able to take like CTK classes here, which is creative technologies, and just learn about different forms of art, which is really cool, that I've never had access to before. So definitely go somewhere with options, find your people, and
I like that one.
yeah, have fun.
I think it's wild that we expect people at 17, 18 years old to even attempt to declare a major.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
I graduated high school at 17 years old, and everyone's like, what are you going to school for? And I'm like, probably theater. They're like, what do you mean probably? I'm like, I'm 17, man.
Yeah.
Right. If you were engaged, then it was like,
Literally,
hey, this
any
is the
other
person
life
I'm
choice would
definitely
be
going to spend the
ridiculous.
rest of my life with forever.
Hey, I'm making this choice right now. And like, there's a stigma against, especially like some older crowds are very like, oh, you're switching your major, you're going to be there forever. And I'm like, it's part of it. Like, you got to figure out what you can do for the rest of your life, or at least until you figure out what else you want to do, and if you want to get another degree in something else. And so you're not wasting finances or whatever. And I mean, I don't think any college experience is a waste of finance. I think that it's part of the experience, but
Waste your finances.
look, man,
You totally like, there is more than just college for anything.
oh, for sure.
Especially right now. Like there's so many and I know a lot of artists too that are not abandoning their art, but are sort of being like, well, what else can I do? And they're learning coding.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that is honestly, like, I feel like no college out there is saying this, but I feel like you should learn coding as an actor, and you will never want for.
I will never have to pay someone else to make my website for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Build your own website. Also, build all of your friends' websites.
Exactly.
And I mean, charge them. Don't do it for free.
No, that's what I mean. Like that, make that your survival job.
Right. My
Or
wife
learn how to garden, maybe. I don't know.
My wife just posted in the chat, there's nothing wrong with a victory lap in college.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a victory lap. That means you're winning.
But I mean, and even I like, I have a stable job even in quarantine right now with being an educator. But even now with some of the downtime I have, like I am trying to find ways to be creative with my students. And I mean, our next big thing is me learning how to, edit short films and stuff like that so that they can still make art. It won't be the art that they're used to, but they're going to be doing some kind of performance art. So
That's the key. Even before COVID, that's the key to surviving as an artist, is to do as much as you possibly can. If you like it at all, try it.
Right.
But what is your favorite thing that you've discovered that is not acting, is not singing songwriting, but is something else you've discovered that you're like, I love this thing too?
Oh,
It could be one, too. It could be like, I don't know, three.
I think I guess it goes hand in hand with the singing songwriting thing, but like producing my own stuff, I think is really fun. And I'm not good at it by any means. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's this whole trial and error process of like just messing around on the computer. It's so fun I bought myself Logic. I like work my way up from GarageBand and invested in Logic, and it's a blast. Like just like making weird sounds on there and trying to find something that you like.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna let you know that investment is nowhere near the investment in investing from iMovie to Final Cut Pro, because iMovie is garbage.
Well, I got the student deal, so I have Final Cut as well.
iMovie is garbage.
So I think I'm going to post this as a clip. When you post a movie from iMovie, which is what all of our stuff is done on, if it's a clip.
For now.
When you post it from iMovie, it automatically tags iMovie, and typically I erase that out of spite. This time I'm gonna label it, be like, iMovie promotion. Why iMovie's the best. Anyway.
But no, and it's wild. I mean, and I do think that you have to have other interests. Like I think you jumping into coding or producing and all that kind of stuff is brilliant. If I could go back, or when I go back, or whatever I do in the future, I'm super interested in politics, and there's nothing wrong with having a wide variety of interests like that. So my goal would eventually be to get some degree in political whatever.
Do it. Go fund them.
I think it's
Somebody
important
out there
to be a well-rounded person. It's like theater's awesome, but if you're just theater, you don't understand it either. Then
hi, my
name's
name's
the whole world too.
Yeah,
my name's Jonathan Long, and I'm your progressive candidate for state superintendent of education.
Woo!
In South Carolina, I get 0 votes.
Dory?
I think it's exciting, Emily, though, to hear you say something like that, because like I think that's something I personally learned like a couple years after college, or felt very like wrong for feeling that way. So I'm really excited that you like already have the mind of like, yeah, it's all gonna make me a better artist and a better person. That's exciting.
Thank you. And I mean, first class freshman year, I had acting 1 with Kim Pereira, and that was the first thing he said to us was, if you want to do theater, quit this class and do everything but theater. And he was right.
Yeah. The two people from my college who got on Broadway while they were still in school were journalism majors. And then I think one of them came back as a theater major, but
That's so funny.
yeah.
My collegiate professor said,
Wow. You guys don't realize that was a pretty damn direct ass takeout. That was truly an impression of a real person. So let's go to categories. Are we playing categories?
"Oh yeah."
You guys want to play a game? Is that what that meant?
Megan game time. Woo!
Hoskins is so good at transitions. Okay. Well, here's how, for the audience and for Hoskins, here's how categories works, and then I'm going to share my screen. Normally, I try and like theme my game to whoever our guest is, but I found this digital generator for categories, and I was just excited about it. So I'm sorry, Emily, you don't get a themed game. You just you get a game I'm really excited about all of a sudden. Okay, so basically, we're going to put, I'm going to say 100 seconds on the clock. because that's what it already put in for me.
Right.
And what's going to happen is you're going to see a letter pop up, and then you're going to see, I think it was 12 categories. And for each of those categories, you are going to list something that belongs in that category and starts with that letter. You want to try and get one for each category, but also if you get multiple for each category, the points just increase. I will kind of be keeping score. Who knows what will happen?
Let's do it. You're competing too, right, Megan?
Yeah, that's the other thing
right.
I'm excited about, is because this generator is doing this for me. I get to compete too.
Oh,
We're going to let Emily go last so that we can all fail miserably and she can learn.
Boo, it's rigged. I think because you've never played, you have to go first, Megan.
Okay, that's fair. We can do oldest to youngest.
I am second last.
Okay. Give me 1 second. It's
I
getting
will keep your score
Categories.
for you.
we should make an audio cue for categories if this happens again.
Scat.
Skibbity-doo bows! Categories!
So this is an example of what we might run into here.
Oh, yeah,
Bow!
we did this one earlier as practice.
Yeah. Long actually did great. So if Long wins, it's because he cheated.
I do great at all things because I am a machine.
There we go. That's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do 120 seconds because that's what's on here.
Two
That's
whole
too long?
minutes.
All right. Hold on. Let's edit it.
Give them 90 seconds, a minute and a half.
Ooh, you would.
Oh, yeah, you have to do it that way because your keyboard doesn't work right now, doesn't it?
Nope, because my mic's plugged in. All right, so I'm going first.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Starting with the letter J for the other two Jonathans on this show.
Woo.
It's gonna be embarrassing. Here we go.
Scat out.
Okay, things at a football game: jocks, sandwiches. Nope, musical groups. Nope. Things you say by a jaguar. Either actually jaguar and jaguar. So either the car or the animal. Things that make you smile. Jokes.
Wow, screw you, Megan. Could have helped both of us out here.
Weekend activities. I don't know. Things that have wheels. Jeeps. Computer parts. Ooh, things you sit in or on Jeeps. Cooking utensils. Math terms. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Sandwiches that start with J.
It's like
It's only.
there's one ingredient of this big sandwich.
I don't know what you're talking about, Long.
I'm doing so bad.
How many does she have, Long?
5.
I thought she had more than that.
Nope.
Things that make you smile. Jack in the Box.
That
Fine.
should make you smile.
Jonathan
A real Jack in the
and
Box.
Jonathan can both make me smile. Cooking utensils. Wow, this is bad.
3,
So bad.
2.
So you had 5 originals and then 2 repeats on things to make you smile. So if we're counting those, it's 7 points.
7.
Yeah, 7 points. I literally did the worst. Okay.
And the best.
And the best so far.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to reset. Here we go.
Oh.
Ooh, Hoskins gets O.
All right. So 0.
Your lord. All right, you ready, man?
Oh, great. Yep, I'm ready.
Go for it.
Stones and gems.
Oh, come on, man. Zelda, you can get these in some of the treasure chests. Just me? Cool, just me?
Is yours an OP word, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got nothing. Opal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ha. Computer programs. Odyssey. Trees. Oh, Christmas trees.
No, veto.
Yeah.
Veto. Absolutely not.
There you go.
Ways to kill time. Chopping down an oak.
That doesn't count.
Reading a book on an oak tree. Wait, this game doesn't have to do with oaks. Animals, squirrels on an oak tree. Famous females.
Come on, dude.
Who do
Come
I
on,
say
dude.
first, though? That's the real challenge. Oprah.
There we go.
Historical figures. I don't get to repeat. Michelle Obama.
Just take
Restaurants.
Obama.
Sizzler. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. Obama. I forgot the game. Restaurants. Charlie's. Names in a song.
4, 3,
Oh,
2, 1.
Adelo's. Nah,
All right.
that's too much time, huh? That's
How do
not
you do,
much
Mom?
time.
I got 6.
I don't
All
know.
right. Wait,
Which one did I
beat
not get?
Hoskins?
You did.
Thank God.
Which one did
Okay,
I not
all right.
get?
Wait, I gotta grab a pen.
Which one did I not?
Oh wait, sorry, I was wrong. It was 7. I didn't count the first one I backspaced on.
All
So
of them that I did, I got right?
You guys tied.
All right.
But wait, how's it scored? Wait.
Your turn, man. Are you ready?
Okay, never mind. I'll shut up. Okay. Didn't I get everyone I did? So 8?
What? I got the same questions? Okay, there we go.
I
No,
had
no.
8.
Well, you
How
get
am I gonna address this?
All right. Hoskins is trying to cheat, but it's Long's turn. All right. You ready?
This is fun to be listening
3, 2, 1, go.
Gun.
That.
Ghana.
Ooh, look at you go.
I'll skip that one for now. Reasons to take out a loan. I'll skip that one.
Nothing. Don't take out a loan.
Name used in a Bible. I don't know.
to. Arrested Development.
Things found at a bar.
Also guns.
Grenadine.
Ooh. Good.
Awards and ceremonies. I'll skip that one for now. Foreign cities. I don't know.
Wait, go back to
Toy.
8. Go back to 8.
I'll go back to 8 when I'm ready.
So
The Grammys.
there we go. Oh my God.
Toys. Gumby.
Yes.
Furniture. I'll skip that one. Items in a suitcase. Gym clothes. Which ones did I skip?
Foreign
Tools.
cities, tools.
Tools.
Reasons.
Gaff tools. I'm gonna say gaff tape because it's a tool definitely in theater. Reasons to take out a loan. Gee, there isn't one. Does that count? I don't know any names used in the Bible.
I'm suing Goofy.
4.
Reasons to take out a loan. Google sued me.
What?
Names in the Bible. Job.
Job is with a J.
Nah.
It's just with the G in Arrested Development.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Giorgio Armani.
Definitely in the Bible. Okay, I'm giving you 8. I'm not counting.
Still a
the-
little confused as to how I listed 8 things and didn't get 8 points. still a
Probably
little
because you were wrong
confused.
about one of them. All right. Reset.
Because you said oak for 3 of them.
You should have been subtracting points.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are fun.
Ooh. Giving her a K. Oh, Emily.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. I hope you're ready because you got K on the board. 90 seconds. Here we go.
Kitchen. Items in a catalog. Knives. Offensive words.
You don't have to
Skip
say
that
one.
People in uniform. No idea. Villains.
Kraken.
Oh, that's a monster. That's true, Kraken. There you go. Things that jump or
I'm giving that
bounce.
one to Emily though.
Kids on a trampoline.
My brain is blank of everything.
This is harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Australia.
What?
Bippity boppity.
Oh, I was like, what? Things on a map.
Oh no, things that jump.
Things that jump in a pouch. Winnie the Pooh.
I can't think of anything.
There has a child named Rue.
They got a pouch and they keep their child in it. They punch. There's a gas station named after him.
Seafood, kelp. You eat that, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Is it also a vegetable? Can I use it as two?
Yeah,
Sure.
It's a vegetable. It's green. And that's probably all I'm gonna get. That's like 4.
We were talking about a kangaroo.
It was 5, but both Long and Hoskins get an extra point because
They gave me all
for
of
their
them.
ongoing description of what a kangaroo is.
Oh,
There was one named Jack in a movie with Anthony Anderson.
and Jerry O'Connell.
What a movie.
He was in Stand By Me. Well, that was a great game. Once again, Long is the victor,
Yeah. All
getting
right.
as many as I claimed I had.
So if you did have as many as you claimed you had, and Long does, because I kept track, you both got an extra point. So you both actually tied. So I think if we let Emily prepare for her last song, do you want to play one more?
I think we should go down the list and take turns.
Yeah, let's see if we can get them all together.
All right.
And if-
Here we
yeah.
go.
All right, Emily's
So
gonna
Emily,
play,
I'm gonna take you a break.
You guys are forced to watch us play this one more time while
Oh, and of course it's an A.
stay for the music.
Long or Hoskins, do you want 1 or 2?
Are we working together or against each other?
I think we're just going back and forth, and if we make it to the end, we both win. Whoever falls out
Oh
first.
shit. Okay, well if you get stuck, I'm gonna help you / help me if I get stuck.
Okay.
I'll do the first one because it's long, I guess.
Okay.
Right. Also, this is gonna be easier because it's A. Here you go. Go.
Things you see at the zoo. Aardvark.
Board games. Son of a.
There's lots of cards, and you try and pick the card the other person wants. There's green cards and red cards, just like there's green and red.
I got no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one person puts like an adjective down, and everybody else has nouns.
Apples to apples.
Nice. Things with tails is hard because I already said the one I would have said.
Also an aardvark.
Do anteaters have tails?
Yes.
You.
Anteaters.
Methods of transportation. Airplane.
Yep.
Oh fuck. Reptiles and alligator. Alligator, yeah.
Ethnic food. I don't know.
Ooh.
Asian food.
Yeah, Asian food. Asian cuisine.
Dial.
Insects.
Come on, you've been saying it the whole game.
Asian food? What?
No, you said the thing that eats it.
Ants.
Yeah. Things that can kill you. Anything.
Anything.
Great. I'll take that.
Things you make. Art.
Tourist attraction.
Come on, come on.
A theme park.
Yeah. we both lost. You won though. You got one more than me.
But that means together we
got 9. We got 9 out of 12.
Congratulations.
But if we had got to cars, if we had just gone through and got to cars, we would have had at least 10 out of 12. So
Yeah, that was wow. It was bad because Megan was like, "This is gonna be easy for you guys."
it was not.
It's a lot easier than like K and G.
Yeah. I just kept wanting to say a blank. Time. My brain would just be like, just say a this. This is easy.
All right, I want to bring Emily back in.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right, this is my last one. This is called I Lost You. This one's brand new, and the other two also will be out on an EP along with this one. I'm not gonna say when because I don't know when, but eventually.
I keep trying to understand. When I lost sight of who you were, was I always so oblivious? Or just shielding myself from the worst? There's a lot to build up with a far way to fall. I'm at the top of this mountain and you're looking so small. Facing the other way, he called your name, and it's not my place to say that I lost you. Maybe you lost yourself, unless this is who you really are, and I'm foolishly pleading for help. I lost you. At least it feels that way, 'cause I don't know who this is anymore. Glimpses growing more fleeting each day. Tensions asphyxiate, but I'm the only one not breathing. Your change is choking me, 'cause he's the only one you bleed for. There is pooling resentments gathered under my eyes. If you look in the mirror, who if at all would you recognize? Facing the other way, wish he never called your name. It's not my place to say that I lost you. Maybe you lost yourself, unless this is who you really are, and I'm foolishly pleading for help. I lost you. At least it feels that way, 'cause I don't know who this is anymore. Glimpses growing more fleeting each day. And I lost you. Resentment eats me up. Fixing this just ain't worth the risk of falling farther apart.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily, so much.
Yay! Thank you.
You're so
And
talented.
again,
Thanks for
That
sharing
was great.
your original
Yeah,
work
go-
with us.
Thank you
Go
for
follow,
having me.
go listen, go support her, please.
Yeah, especially that
It's
stuff
so
coming out
easy.
soon.
So, and I know you're on iTunes, but I assume you're also on Spotify. And is there anywhere else they could find you?
Yeah, basically on every major streaming platform, just under Emily Franke. I also have a Bandcamp and a SoundCloud.
Cool. Thanks, Emily. And thanks to Jimmy Crispin, who was on a couple weeks ago, for hooking us up with Emily. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, he's the man. So before we go today, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about this a little bit. We talked about having a moment of silence, and I don't think we can be silent. So we decided to not, but we did want to send our love, thoughts, prayers with the recovery of Jacob Blake, who was attacked by police and shot 7 times. If you don't know about that, then you really need to wake the fuck up, because that happened. And I'm not the person you need to get your information on this stuff, but it's so obvious. It's so obvious that is not anything close to okay or even understandable in those actions. It's just pure violence. Sorry. It's just hard. But this is a continuing fight for change, and we are continuing that fight, and we will speak out against that police brutality.
And I think that we would be remiss again if we didn't say that systemic change starts with the individual, and you are part of an individual group of people, and so you have to make the effort to move forward, and that includes writing your legislators, writing your congressmen, whatever it takes. You have to be willing to do it. We
just
can't
sending an email to somebody in another state that you don't know, like, yeah, I know you have a lot of emails. I have a lot of emails too. I don't feel like sending emails in the morning. It's not what I feel like doing, but that's an easy thing to do. A very easy thing to do. And I wanted to give some, I don't know, I guess thanks and praise. This is a high profile example, but the National Basketball Association decided to boycott their games,
as well as the WNBA.
as well as the WNBA, who's been doing a lot of very good work and speaking out against social change. But thanks to everybody who's working, big profile or small, for change on the ground levels. Right now, because of that boycott, you may see stories about horrible stories about, oh, these players just did it for money and they didn't put their money where their mouth was. That's crazy because, one, I don't expect them to play after that crazy shit. It's a game. All right. And these are people's lives. So it's okay if they didn't want to play. One, two, they got more things done. And there are arenas across the nation in all of these cities that are now being turned into places where people can vote. There is money being put out on the ground so people can vote. That is amazing. And those are people that don't have to do that, and they're doing it. But thanks to them, and thanks to all the people we don't know about that are doing things like that constantly and working on the ground. So thank you.
And like you were saying, vote. Make sure that you're registered to vote. Make sure that you know where you're supposed to vote. Make sure that if you plan on mailing in your ballot, that you are able to do that. With everything going on with the post office, just make sure that you know the steps that you have to do to be able to vote in November. I refuse to tell you how to vote, but it's a privilege that we get to have, and you would really be doing a disservice if you didn't vote in the upcoming election.
For sure. For everything, not just presidential.
Right.
Sorry to go off on that. Megan, do you have anything to add with that? We said it. Yeah. So thanks again, Emily, for joining us. You were fantastic. I had fun, and I needed some fun right now. Thanks again to Jimmy for putting us in contact. Thanks to my sister, Christy, and my best friend, DJ, for making our title instrumental that we use for this show and on our sports podcast, Role Players. So, yeah, thanks, everybody, for watching. If you're still with us, we're going to get out of here. Subscribe to our channel, please. It helps us out a lot. As we're trying to make this platform bigger to put new artists out there for the world, new artists that are awesome like Emily. So thanks again, and let's get out of here. Yeah. Do I need to do a rant again? I feel like I already did it.
But thanks, guys.
Thank you. Fun stuff.